Hello, welcome to the Deltahead stream. I'm James Howell. We are today going to be doing part one of Silent Hill Homecoming. Give us 1 second. We're going to get a few things set up here and let some people arrive. Oh. All right, let's bring up chat. All right, there we go. Got chat up here. Give us a couple of more minutes here. Let some people join who I know are on their way before we get started. All right. Wow, I'm looking at myself in the stream preview. That is some sheltering in place hair right there. Let me tell you what. 1 second, let me turn down these lights. Literally turning down the lights. They're lamps that have that sort of articulated spine that you can kind of adjust. Okay, so that's enough time to let some folks show up. Hi, I'm James Howell. This is the first part of the Silent Hill Homecoming stream. Apologies to everybody who usually comes around on Tuesday nights. Was feeling kind of under the weather then, and not up to being present, visible, social, and yeah. So here I am, and we're making that up. So, quick plug before we get the game started. I know there's a whole lot going on in the country right now with Black Lives Matter and the protests following George Floyd's murder. And wanted to plug a studio that I work with, Poorly Timed Games. I'm working with them as a writer and narrative designer. And they have a donation matching campaign going on for bail funds for protesters across the U.S. who are out there and supporting Black Lives Matter. So if you go to my Twitter, it's Deltahead Media on Twitter, you'll see a retweet of their donation matching campaign, a link to Act Blue, which is a well-vetted resource. They're safe. They're not going to steal your identity or anything like that. The social media manager, Cole, does a really good job of making sure all that's clean. So yeah, if you go there, donate, let Poorly Timed Games know. They'll match your donation, and yeah, that'll get that underway. So let's see. I'm Mode7. It's good to see you. On top of everything, man's allergies also acting up. In fact, they were not allergies. It was a bona fide sneeze fest. due to pathogens, of all things. So, Silent Hill Homecoming. This, apparently we're going through what are regarded to be the B-list Silent Hills as part of our weekday streams. This was, I understand, not well liked, but I don't understand why. I actually enjoyed this one. I felt it was a quality story, thought it was told in a good Silent Hill fashion, and one of its endings, the bad ending, is in fact a really good. I mean, it's a good horror ending. So yeah, this is a story of, is it Alex? Alex, I think it is. Alex is at the start of the game, as far as we know, recently discharged from the military. He's going back home to his family who lives in a town across from Toluca Lake, which is the lake that is that's in Silent Hill. Shepherd's Glen, there we go. And he's returning home, finds it all Silent Hilly, and that's where we find him. And that trucker that you just saw in the opening, and that we're going to see again, I think his name is Travis. He was the protagonist from Silent Hill Origins. He was the man who found. Hmm. No, I've learned my lesson about starting on hard on a game I haven't played in years in front of an audience. Um, he was the one who found Alessa from the burning house. Display brightness, yeah, I'm not going to make it so I can't see. Um, oh, I should have adjusted subtitles. So here we are. I don't think I have free control of the camera here. If I remember correctly, these murders that we're seeing of adults killing children in these side rooms are narratively significant. So it looks like we had a kid getting hit with a hammer, somebody being strangled, and somebody in a burlap sack being thrown down a hole. And that last shot appears to be a kid standing behind an iron grate. Well, I was, in fact, left there. Well, there's our orderly. And there's our orderly no more. Looks like he's... did he take the body away? I don't know, but those were not secure traps. Secure straps, rather. Thanks, Mode 7. Yeah, it's necessary. Absolutely necessary. Oh, nifty. There we go. There's my flashlight. Yeah, I'm glad word's gone out all over too. It's pretty awful what's happening right now, and um, you know, it gives a different meaning to a lot of the stuff that we do that's entertaining or lighthearted on a day-to-day basis. And it doesn't mean that, you know, it does mean that a lot of things should stop and pay attention, but anything that continues can't really be business as usual until this reaches a kind of a cadence that can only be achieved by working through it and incorporating it into the daily lives that we choose to live. Patient room 206, transorbital lobotomy. No, I don't know what that is. Of course the lock is broken. It's Silent Hill. Lobotomies for those currently on the astral plane. I mean, that is an entire, I mean, as far as anybody knows, that is a plausible explanation for what goes on or where Silent Hill is in fact located when it gets into otherworld stuff. Am I missing something? Turned on my flashlight and very certain. Oh, okay. It's the left door that opens. Gotcha. That's right. This game has a kind of an action parry dodge mechanic that I remember enjoying. It's not super deep, but it's deep enough. Our orderly really got taken for a ride there. Here we go. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I have to keep the volume low on the TV so it doesn't overwhelm on the mic, and it's a little difficult to know what's going on without subtitles. Okay, so patient 205 is challenging to help. Oh, okay. That's not a bad feature, the objective list. It seems that this was done before it was maybe decided to be super important to make the objectives visible at all times, which I appreciate it being buried a little bit. So it's only there if I'm looking for it. Oh, it's interesting. They provide a narrative context for that. And just by virtue of knowing video games, kind of knew what to expect. Oh, there's my creepy kid brother. Can I get a... No, we're just cool with this. No commentary needed. These are incubators, right? Yes. Incubators with dolls in them. Burn dolls in them. Great. Leap through the window and then ravage the adjacent room. Patient was not responsive to verbal commands. Subdued, catatonic state, restraints, electroshock. Not a great place. Ah, there we go. Okay. Hey, Roundlay. It's good to see you. How are you tonight? Jesus. Christ. Cool. Cool Jack-in-the-Box corpse. There we go. 624872. It's like one digit off from my home phone number when I was a wee kid. All right, 624872. Six, two, four, 6, 2, 4, 8, 7, 2. Man, every kid, as soon as they get into Silent Hill, just skedaddles right away. Three little pigs. I am doing well tonight. A little tired, but having recovered from the slight cold that prevented my regular Tuesday stream. Ugh. And then looking around at the games that I had, I got a converter that or a HDMI signal splitter that allows me to finally. Oh wow! Apparently, I was playing this recently. Almost exactly a year ago. Okay. Yeah, signal splitter that lets me use HDMI and run it through the capture card. So, besides the appropriateness of following up one B-list Silent Hill with another, this was a really good excuse to go ahead and use that technology on a stream. So, and to be clear, I mentioned this earlier. Despite being a B-list Silent Hill, I actually like this one quite a lot. And I'm glad you've got some coffee. It's sounds like it's the right time of day for you for that. I remember, I believe this one came out shortly after the movie, where they really really established that particular kind of otherworld transition effect. L2. Oh, that's right. Okay. Combat. You can die. You can kind of do a juke thing. And each hit of the combo can translate into a final blow that you can charge up. Cool. Yeah, well, that's I think that's supposed to be Alex's backstory, which is kind of a neat, you know, uh, in Silent Hill 1, Silent Hill 2, Harry and James, and even Cheryl, you know, everybody is, oh, okay. Everybody's, you know, nobody's like a combatant, right? And kind of the conceit for Alex here is that he did, in fact, finish a tour in the army, so he is he's combat ready. Starbucks open again. Excellent. Roundley, which part of the country or which country are you from? I'm curious. You don't have to like answer specific. I'm just curious about time zone. Parts of the game that I appreciate. I think the story is actually quite good. It plays within the Silent Hill mythos without getting too mired in a lot of the cult stuff in a way that the games that followed up on Silent Hill 1 in particular tended to. Silent Hill 4 was an example of one that got very culty. Not to bad effect, but it's not really sort of my cup of tea. And that's going to sound like a weird. It's going to sound like a weird thing to praise it for, given the fact that this is very cult heavy. But it uses the cult as kind of a setting and a plot element rather than as something that it uses the cult narratively rather than as something that I'm supposed to be interested in purely for the sake of the lore. Yeah, that's it. Tokyo. Oh, cool. So this is in fact roundabout your morning. Oh God. Doctors say that I'm unable to discern fantasy from reality, but I think I know what's going on around here. I saw those demons murder the other patients. I want to escape from this cursed place, but I don't dare venture into the light. So I'm guessing this is patient 205's. So all the stuff that was on the good side of reality, or better side, rather, not to say that one was good. All the stuff that was on the better side of the reality are all the doctor's notes. This one looks like it's the patient's notes. So why people. That's interesting. Um, that's why people who need light to see, as opposed to that's why people, comma, who need light to see, comma, are their natural prey. So yeah, plot I think is good. Combat is. I am auto-targeting something in the other room. Yeah. Not keen on jumping into here, but okay. Yep. It's got a dodge mechanic that's kind of cool. And yeah, the combat's good enough. Yeah, this one kind of splits the difference between the cult and the psychological aspects of it. So I don't know. I don't know if it was ever ported to PC. I think this might have been a PS3 360 only release. Yeah, let me squeeze through the creepy teeth. And this one mercifully gives you a life bar, which is a very strange place to put it, but it's kind of welcome. Again, like they do a good job of making the all that information that you need. I think the UI is actually pretty good. It doesn't clutter up your screen. It makes it all available at the press of a button, and it also doesn't do the sort of like live inventory management stuff that like Silent Hill 4 does, which kind of frustrates me. Yeah, well, I mean, you're not wrong, Mode 7, about people preferring to play these games because they are tougher in some regards, like that. She's not here. I don't remember if I saved, but let's go ahead and do that. Um, it's like, yeah, it's like the purpose of a Silent Hill game isn't really to have great combat, but So what you kind of have to do is find a way to justify that narratively. And to their credit, I mean, I know they're considered B-list Silent Hills, but it just kind of sucks because they're kind of like, the younger sibling that's um, having to play baseball in the shadow of their superstar, you know, big brother or sister. It's like Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 2 are just works of genius. So a good game is, you know, kind of given a bad rap by comparison. And I think these are good games. I think they're fun. And they do a good job of being scary. They tell neat stories. So that's good. So, but anyway, for the combat, um, for justifying combat, uh, the way that they do it in Silent Hill Origins, the way they do it in Silent Hill Origins is that Travis, who's your playable character, has an anger problem. So and your final ending actually depends on how violent you are. It lets you pick up. Let's see, what am I looking at here? No, that's not an enemy. It lets you pick up, objects like televisions and things like that, and use them as kind of bar brawl items. And so they tie that in thematically there. In this one again, Alex is supposed to have had combat training of some kind, so it makes sense. So yeah, I mean they follow the series' own rules. Yes, they're Luigi's, and it's the thing we've all come around to learn to love Luigi. This is the operating theater, and this is the spectator stuff. Um, Hi, Nally. It's good to see you. It's good to meet you. I don't think I've seen you around lately. I'm James. And this is Silent Hill Homecoming. Deus Ex 2 said, I never played Deus Ex 2. We don't love Downpour. Actually, that's one I've never played. That actually, I mean, the intention hasn't really been to do like a series of the B-list Silent Hills, but I mean, now that I've done Silent Hill Shattered Memories, I'm doing Homecoming. I have Origins on PlayStation 2, and that could be something we could play through. I also have it on PSP, which I think was its original release, but that's less of a stream-friendly platform. Okay, just want to make sure all my options are exhausted before. Okay, cool. Um, Origins would be good, and then we could even follow that up with Silent Hill Downpour, which I have never played, and that would be kind of a cool thing to have first impressions live. Oh, you speedrun the Silent Hill games. Oh, cool. Well, this is a casual playthrough, and this is I played this. Like a lot of these games that I'm playing. Oh God! No! 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 Oh God! Oh God! I'm really stuck. Oh wow, that was a. I thought I could make it between the pipe and the whatever, but that's clearly not the case. Uh, so anyway, yes, this is clearly a casual playthrough. I beat this. I kind of did like a completionist playthrough of it back when it came out, but I haven't played it since then, which was like 2000 and I want to say 9. Please. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Hooray for dodging. Ah. Oh, that doesn't really have range. Whew. Yeah. Let me catch up here while I finish freaking out. Finish Downpour on RPC S3. 10,000 times over Downpour. Wow. Yeah, yeah. No, I know that people don't like downpour, but I guess if I'm going to be playing that, the idea is kind of forming live here. Ooh, oh, well, there's one half of our former orderly, or formerly, and yeah, like a side of beef. Yeah, if I'm going to be doing this, doing Silent Hill Downpour live, then don't spoil it too much. I know it's like a prisoner escaped from a bus that overturns in Silent Hill, which is like the worst place to have to drive through. Good bindings with Metal Gear? You mean like, are you thinking about like the older ones that have the control schemes that are kind of like very early FPS format? Specifically thinking MGS2 and MGS3, which I guess could be done on any regular PS2 emulator. Oh, here's the other half of the orderly. Wow, somebody placed these very carefully. Excuse me. I do remember some of the plot of this, but I don't want to get too spoilery with it. Operating theater. That's weird. So this is just the game developer part of my brain is looking at the text here, and it's strange because the operating theater text is written in purple, which makes me think that it's kind of like a variable text that's filled in, but it has a period that's white, which it would be the format of whatever the standard text is. Or maybe it's just a single text string with a typo in it and different coloring for the relevant words. The LaCroix of the franchise. That's really funny. MGS2's PC port. Oh yeah, I forgot that it even had that. Oh wait, yeah, let me do inventory here. There we go. I've got to say, as far as presentation goes, this is something that is very dear to my heart. I really like it when there's a door, and there are two versions of the visual. There's one without the lock, if it's a padlock, and one with it. And then when you use the key and the lock goes away, feels good. Like, acid reflux? It's like the opposite of that. Yeah, there's Josh. I'm gonna be a little positive there. Thank you, creepy little brother. Let's see, right. Or correct. I forget if this game has actual checkpoints to it, or if it only goes back to save spots. Oh, nifty. If you go into first person view, it zeroes in on something relevant. Missing patient bulletin. Oh, okay. I guess I was wrong. I thought that the Otherworld stuff would only have the patient things. But no, it has doctor stuff too. That's interesting. The camera kind of like zooms in slightly, making me think that it's something I can observe, but in fact, I cannot. Yeah, it's more of a self-confidence. It's a statement of confidence than capability. Oh, right. This is where I found myself dying uh, because I screwed up a QuickTime event. Yeah. I gotta say, I am super not a fan of uh, reaching into holes that I can't see inside of. All right. This is a quick time thing. Okay. English is a requirement instead of Japanese. Huh. Like, I don't know if you can say roundly, but I'm curious what the context of that is. Oh God. All right. I hear things. Are they insects? Oh yes, they're insects. Oh God, and they're actually on me. Damn it. Did not see that in the dark. Uh, Whew. I'm not going to use a health item because I'm kind of confident that this level's almost over. But we're going to find out how wise that is. Yeah, QuickTime events are not my favorite. The things that I am okay with some kinds of QuickTime events. If I have a threshold of two inputs, um, and QuickTime events like Resident Evil 4's Krauser battle are not my favorites. Because then, I mean, I think kind of the purpose of a QuickTime event is to kind of make something feel more theatrical than it would be if you were just playing it. But at that point, I'm just looking at the button prompts instead of what's happening on the screen. So it might be more theatrical for somebody who's like witnessing it or that sort of passive audience, but it doesn't help me as a player. So I don't think it really fulfills its need. Yeah, Nally, I agree. Oh. It's so weird how like I wonder if these item names are maybe translated independent of knowing what the full game was because I mean it just kind of makes sense that if I think item descriptions are coming from the point of view of the character picking them up, so Alex would know that that's Josh's drawing, so it would probably better say I got Josh's drawing. Oh, Roundlay, that's super neat. I I very much dig. Jesus, I don't want to say hiccups, but technical choices like that might have been made for very specific reasons that are not necessarily evident. It's a pig drowning. I think I hear the faint sound of water lapping on the shore, but the source seems to be coming from just beyond this door. But that's impossible. This is a hospital, and everything has made sense so far. Oh, interesting. I was not aware that QTEs were considered accessibility. Um, well, that there were accessibility concerns surrounding them. Let's see. Can I? In fact, I can. That's interesting. I will, excuse me, load up PS4 Spider-Man and see what that looks like. Oh, that's cool. They're captioning action as well. Gotcha. Yeah, there's Travis. There's something I noticed with Silent Hill Shattered Memories, like this right here, like he turns on the radio and it's an Akira Yamaoka song. Because, like, Yamaoka is a very, I mean, just in terms of what you're going to find on the radio in general, it's just kind of like this very esoteric, sort of floaty, um, almost abstract kind of music. And it has a Twin Peaks bar feel that would just be like a common track on the radio. Actually, if you go onto Spotify and do a search for Konami, you'll find the soundtracks for Shattered Memories and a lot of other kind of obscure Konami games up there. I think Alex's jacket has an airborne patch on it. Although they got his patch backward. You know, the American flag patch. I mean, uh, stars on the right instead of the left. It's interesting. Something else that's I think this might be one of two games in the Silent Hill series that takes place in towns adjacent or separate from Silent Hill. Um, I know Silent Hill 4 takes place in, I don't remember the name of the place, but it doesn't take place in Silent Hill directly. What does it do if I try to run through the fog? Okay, it just turns me around. Um, can I run? No, I can't. Um, and this one takes place in Shepherd's Glen. But both of them ultimately do wind up pointing you to Silent Hill at some point, either through the teleportation in Silent Hill 4 or as happens narratively in this one. South Ashfield, thank you. Mode 7, the DLCs for Spider-Man PS4 are quite good. If you were planning to revisit that, that is a fine reason to. I platinumed that game. Intentional? How so? Thank you, creepy mother of a childhood friend. One thing about this game's mood that I really do like is these this interlude where I actually didn't know I could go in there. This interlude where you can just kind of like walk around the town and you get this sort of like very melancholy, plodding piano. Um, I didn't know you could go in here this early. This is kind of cool. Um, and it's very mood setting. It feels very much like a depressed homecoming. Oh God, I guess this is where she went. I did not know I could ask her these questions. That's cool. Oh, that's interesting. I was not aware of that as a convention or a badge convention. Sasquatch-centennial. There is no such thing as a Sasquatch-centennial. I like how chill she is that Alex is just approaching her and talking to her with a knife in his hand. It's like one flag, two flags. We got two American flags looking at each other, just to make sure the other one doesn't misbehave. Got my 50 eyes on you, kiddo. I don't think you're wrong. I think she is definitely used to that being in Silent Hill. Actually curious to see the comparative file save size. 520. Okay, looks like this one is a little further along from like a year ago. Um, and it looks like they're both 592K. I remember save files from, I want to say Oblivion on the PS3, where it might not be that game exactly, but those like it, where the save file continues to get larger the more um, progress you make. And you could, at the end of it, wind up with this just massively bloated save file that nearly crashes the whole damn thing when you try to load it. Mom and Judge Holloway talking in our house. I didn't know we had a talking house. Uh, Mrs. Holloway came over. Mom cried when they were talking. Oh, those are bunnies. I thought they were pigs. Oh, Josh did not live long enough to make it to art school. I mean, I guess the afterworld is not necessarily the best place to critique a child's drawing skills, but, you know. Interesting. Oh, yeah, yeah, Elder Scrolls. That's what I'm referring to. And I seem to remember that, I mean, I played Oblivion on the PS3, and a very good friend at the time who she played it on PC and had all the mods. In fact, did a lot of modding herself. She was very talented at that. When I was explaining to her that I was playing Oblivion, it took her a little while to sort of like double take and go like, wait, you mean like vanilla Oblivion? I'm like, vanilla? What are you talking about? Because I was not a PC gamer, and that is when I learned about mods. And uh, how how happy we are with so little when we don't know what the options are. Which makes me very glad that that emulators are a thing, right? Because there are so many games that are so many really good games on consoles that uh, would be harder for somebody with only PC access to really get. You won't catch them when they're coming right out, but you can get them when they're one generation back and emulated. Oh, nifty. Yeah, man, cannot underestimate modders. Jesus, Josh looks terrified. Hmm. And one of the things in terms of the narrative and the horror of this game is there is something uniquely frightening about kind of returning home and finding all evidence of your existence erased. Do I not have my? Oh, there it is. One thing that is very one thing that I do like about this game is because the Alex is kind of former military brat. I think that's his dad's background was he was an officer in the army at some point. Um, Things like that flashlight, it's like sort of like army issue, kind of like 90-degree crook in it, was familiar to me growing up, and so that makes this feel very homey to me. Oh, Camp Omega. That's the detention camp that you play through in Ground Zeroes. Pardon me. Win the battle, lose the war. I don't think that's the intended meaning behind that poster. Ground Zeroes camp, yeah. Yeah, I don't have great memories about that either. I felt like Ground Zeroes felt singularly misguided in many ways. Oh. Join the fight. I know that you will soon return to me, but I miss you dearly, and writing to you always calms my nerves. It's the same, but with you gone, the house is so empty. So Adam is his dad, Josh is his brother, and Alex is him. Yeah, cursed cassette. Super cursed. Pardon. Mom's been hanging out in the basement sludge again. Yeah, yeah, I think that with MGS5, it's like he went from noble anti-hero to just ignoble villain. He's kind of just completed that arc. Alex's mom is Emily Dickinson. Because I could not stop her death, he kindly stopped for me. I live in Silent Hill. It's the editor's edition. Actually, Dickinson is a prominent New England poet, and Silent Hill is New England, so this is not far off. Oh, yeah, I don't think Dickinson had a sidearm. Like, it kind of works that everybody that Alex talks to is either near catatonic insane or evil and willfully hiding information, but like everybody is in on reality and history that he either has blocked out or is ignorant of. And like 90% of this game, narratively, could just be like ended by somebody telling him that this one delusion that he has is wrong. But nobody does. Nobody does. Old revolver. Oh, that's an item. Cool. Yeah, this is not a great scenario. Hey, hey, as if you can reason with it. That do it? I think they did it. Cool. Troy mate. It is interesting. Again, I mean, it kind of dates the game that the what do you call it? The fatigue colors that are referenced there are forest colors, which are more of a Cold War pre pre Iraq, Afghanistan palette. Yeah, that's a good point about QTEs. I guess it depends on the kind of like the feeling that you want your player to have and to sort of carry with them through the play experience. I mean, if you do want them to feel on edge during cutscenes, then that's one thing. But yeah, I kind of feel that cutscenes have. I mean, the rhythm that they have that they create in a game is sort of a moment of ah, relaxing downtime where you can at least let your guard down a little bit, even if you're sort of still mentally engaged with the fiction. Okay. I'm curious if there's ever a point. These all seem to be key items. I wonder if there's ever a point where you actually use up this full wheel. Hmm? Can I zoom in? No, I cannot. Oh, I think I had the opportunity for a finisher there, but did not follow up on that. Okay, we're kind of a midpoint, or not a midpoint, but we're at a stopping point for a moment. I'm gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. I hope I don't die when I put the controller down. We'll find out. All right, cool. Did not die. It looks like the camera gets shaky when you leave it alone for a little bit. So, this is kind of our midpoint for the stream, and while, let's see here. While we're at midpoint, before we jump back up, I want to reiterate the message at the top of the hour that part of this stream is to share the offer, the sort of donation matching initiative that the video game studio that I work with as a writer and narrative designer, Poorly Timed Games, they have an initiative to match donations for bail, protester support for the Black Lives Matter protests that are happening in the wake of George Floyd's murder. So if you go to Twitter, Deltahead Media, you'll see a link there at the top where this stream is announced, and that'll take you to their account. If you donate, let them know either by DM or in response to the thread, and they'll match your donation, effectively doubling what you can give. So yeah, that's there, and I hope you take advantage of it. So here we are. I have a new weapon. Cool. I wonder at what point, I think James had a lead pipe? I always think of them as lead pipes, and I don't know why, because lead, I don't even know if that's material that pipes are appropriately made out of anymore. It's interesting that they give you the combat tutorial after you've had a chance to literally flail around for a bit. Empty gas can. Ah, Jesus! Cool. Might need to heal up after that. No, that's a little soon to heal. 'Cause, 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 A big spider crawling next to my army toys in the park. Blank wouldn't let me squish the spider. Oh, right. Josh likes spiders. That's right. So I'm guessing Josh is blanked out for story reasons related to trauma. Ah. No, don't. Man, things have really gone to hell in Silent Hill. Do I need something? Can I just use this? Okay, cool. I guess I had a tube to siphon gas out of? And yeah, it's a blast. Actually did not notice. I was kind of too busy trying to get my head wrapped around this situational awareness. It's weird, there's nothing up there. Anything down here? No, there's not. Oh, hey, here's something. Where's Stephen, Mummy? He can't play and I'm sad. You mustn't ask, my darling. Stephen has been bad. Mustn't. Mustn't is right up there with like shallant for contractions that you only use when you want to convey character's tone and not something they would actually say. Udiv is legit. Udiv. Udiv. Sounds like a town in Idaho. Udiv, Idaho. Alright, got a lead pipe. Can't see if anything has spawned, but I'm ready. Yeah, Udiv is definitely the superior option there. It's interesting that, I mean, I initially thought that maybe the camera angle that it cuts to there, where you kind of see Alex in periphery with the pipes there dominating the foreground, was maybe meant to convey that there's like an enemy looking at him, which would have been a cool thing to do. But it also makes sense that they would have put the camera somewhere close to the water and close to a static object, so you can actually see that the water is descending more clearly. That's such a weird. Again, it's a weird phrasing because assuming this is from Alex's point of view, which it is, like maybe he didn't care for Shuki that much. But like if I came home and I was like I didn't see my cat Skylight, I'd be like, oh hey, where's Skylight? Not where's the cat? Thought I heard a dog, and it scared me. Most of the stories are self-contained. There is some crossover and continuity. There is some crossover and continuity between them, but it largely is to kind of like narratively connect sequels. You see Harry in Silent Hill 3 as a carcass, or corpse rather, because human. You can see Harry in Silent Hill 2 during the UFO ending, but and you also get to meet James's dad, who is the building superintendent in Silent Hill 4. But I think that past Silent Hill 4, they kind of like let that go. Um, let's see. How something we get into Dad's room. I took this picture for proof. Something Dad doesn't care if I come in here. He just doesn't want Alex to. Yeah, Harry. For all that he's been through, Harry didn't get the ending he deserved. It's a strange cutscene. Beware of dog. Beware of Shuki. Um, I kind of think there's more maybe I should have explored there. Wholesome Harry. Well, that is, of course, canon Harry. That is the ever vigilant father of Silent Hill 1, tromping around looking for his little girl Cheryl. Though the notion of Harry as a reborn is pretty cool. All right. Okay. Billy, Two, and Sally, did they do something wrong? I'm afraid it's true, child. All your friends are gone. Hmm. Stick figures go into... I wonder if that's like a 2D drawing. That's like a pile of corpses he is standing atop, or a field of them strewn that he is surveying. All right, finally I can listen to this cassette tape. It's been burning a hole in my pocket. A future sacrifice? Yeah, cool dad friend who you have to address as Sir. And thank you, Mode7. Yes, that is the link to Poorly Timed Games' tweet, where if you respond to them, they will match your donation to a protester fund for the Black Lives Matter protests. Don't forget to ask Curtis about the engine. It's interesting that based off the chair's movement, the camera actually orients in real time. Aw, poor chair. Rather than sort of fixing to a static shot. Okay, so the only way forward is with the fire axe, which I do not have. So yes, through the beware of dog door. It's also interesting. This, unlike Silent Hills 1 and 2, and maybe it's because the combat is more the focus on this one. But there's no dash button, and there's no. It's just kind of understood that Alex moves at Alex's speed, which isn't super slow. It's just got kind of a middling jog. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is always interesting to me. Like things, sort of gothic stories that are set in New England are fascinating to me, just because of how comparatively how much older it is and how much more sort of like direct line to sort of like English European architecture, city layouts, planning, and that sort of thing they are, and also how much more haphazard the city sort of structures are because they're built on, you know, built on those sort of like, European colonial settlements. And so, and also it's reflected in like the age and expansiveness of the graveyards. So, yeah, New England graveyards are pretty dang neat, especially when you get into the Puritan ones where the tombstone epitaphs are just super bleak. And while I do very much like that they made it possible to read the epitaphs on these tombstones, uh, sillier ones like that seem to kind of break the immersion for me. Am I hearing a dog? Oh, right, there are dogs in this. These bars are soundproof. I can't possibly yell. That's interesting having the camera sort of bob and track like that because it suggests it's from a dog's point of view. And then you see a dog run across it, so it kind of says like there are two dogs here. Cool. This fountain is hereby dedicated to the memory of Charlotte Borden by her loving parents, taken suddenly from a life yet fulfilled, born. The rest is illegible. I really hope they wrote born, the rest is illegible, age 8 years old. like the Mason is actually just literally transcribing what he received from the on the commission, and the commission note is just hard to read. Yeah, well, you know, you don't know if they're sapient until you give them the opportunity to not attack you. How am I doing on health, by the way? Yeah. Cool. That leaves me with. I think that was probably a good use of that. Let's see. Actually, there's more to explore over here. Pardon. Hmm. I don't know if I like this main thoroughfare being that accessible. I've got to say, exploring those smaller crypt areas definitely give me a sense of claustrophobia. Normally, I like being in spaces with a wall in a horror game because that at least prevents me from getting attacked behind my back. But being penned in is its own problem. Okay. Is it just a wall? Yes, it is just a wall. I don't recognize this name. It implies that he only read the other ones because he did recognize them. I'm kind of curious if there has been a Silent Hill. One does not come to mind that has a flamethrower as its sort of extra special unlockable weapon. Like the chainsaw in Silent Hills 4 and 1 also, I think. But flamethrowers are also, I don't know, what's the game? Resident Evil 7 is the one that I'm thinking of. They're just kind of iffy weapons, right? They're supposed to be like OP and give you a sense of power, but at the same time, because they're usually like DPS, they don't really. You kind of have to be in a position where you can retreat to really use them effectively. They don't usually have kind of like a stun or a pushback effect. So yeah, flamethrowers always kind of feel like empty calories to me. Tasty to think about, but it's not going to get you through that hike. I have a feeling I'm going to get attacked. Yep, I was right. Wow, the frame rate really drops there. I mean, the frame rate isn't great. If you're looking for it's not 60 FPS. It's kind of like working on 30. But it really does chug when you get into faster moving situations. What is down here? Okay. Oh, God. I would like to kill them, please. Okay, I guess I can't. Oh, nifty. Yeah, the TF2 is where I've heard people praise the flamethrower most. I do remember in the original Metal Gear Online, the one that was packaged with Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, the flamethrower was pretty good on that. In part because, like, when you hit somebody with it, it would trigger a stun animation, and you could basically stun lock them while doing, you know, persistent damage. Um, but which is cool. It's just unfortunately getting stun locked could be a career liability if you're not a great player of that game. I don't think so. I think it was available in all missions as like a very special item. Very special item. Okay, cool. I do kind of wish there was a dash here. True of Silent Hill Homecoming and also editing some papers. Ugh. Gross. Yeah, it was a weapon that was available for. It was available to the Gru enemies. It's also interesting because it was available in exactly one area right before you get to the Fury. Um, so it's not even a weapon that shows up available to like enemy characters that often either. Oh, nope, go back. Okay, cool. I need to take a left here. Yep, yep, at the mountaintop. Once whole, but now split in twain, opens the way for souls. Leave, find the place where the pain is whole again. Twain, pain, gain. Okay. I'm actually curious if again is a pronunciation that is used anywhere else other than in sort of like archaic poetry. I don't know anybody who says again. Uh, is there anything over here? Yeah, I agree. The when they take a step, you hear the sound of their whole harnesses kind of shaking, and that's crunchy. Inseparable yet divided. Oh, I can't actually use it here. Okay, gotcha. Oh, that's true. That's true. I don't seem to remember them having much sound there, but there's also a lot of ambient noise when you're going through that. Oh man. I'm feeling like I'm going to be attacked by dogs in an open area. Yeah. So I do appreciate that snowbanks were used to create the sense of realism that Harry as a reborn was actually in Silent Hill with a lot of other people in Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Nonetheless, I do love me some collapsed roads. Yes, this entire town was serious like your dad. You can play with me, son. Don't forget to call me sir. Difficult nonsense. Which opens questions. Is it a small fortune teller? Is it a teller of small fortunes, or is it a small shop that is owned by a fortune teller? The possibilities are three and widely vary, and I hope all of them true at the same time. A very small fortune teller who is happy to speak on low stake outcomes and cramped quarters. That's lore. Whoa. Flag is eaten up. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah, they kind of fulfill that plot requirement where they want you to kind of make a little noise, make yourself known, and they have a section where you have to get caught. So it works. Is this? Oh, Alex's dad was a cop. Right, because all the four founding families have something to do with the um, municipal government, and Alex's dad is authority. Which does not have the best look right now. Gotta say, from Harry falling down off of porches and missing things when he fires and uses his weapon, being accident prone in Silent Hill seems like a major liability. No, yeah, you're right. That's true. One thing that is kind of neat is to see a town that is taken over by Silent Hill from the perspective of somebody who is kind of a native, right? Um, that the Silent Hill fog or that is something that happens to a place and is not just a state that the area goes into when you arrive with a particular kind of suppressed trauma. Though Alex certainly has that, this appears to be in effect well beyond his own personal demons. it is not a puzzle item and is therefore plot. So, cool. John Waterfall. If this were Silent Hill Shattered Memories, there would be phone numbers that I could call on these flyers. I expect they had to, so just what I'm thinking is they wanted him to be former military and he has to be American because of the setting of Silent Hill, but they probably could not run afoul of copyright, um, which does in fact extend to even publicly funded um, institutions like the branches of the Army. And so they had to kind of come up with something that's sort of generic that doesn't entirely look like an actual U.S. Army uniform, but that resembles it enough. I mean, it kind of just looks like a regular jacket that he sewed a bunch of stuff onto, which, given the character's history, I don't want to spoil too much, but I'll say that's actually uh, kind of an appropriate feel. Oh, I. Oh boy. Okay, cool. I tried turning around, and I actually did legitimately get lost in the fog, kind of running lateral to the line that you cross. Black Forest something? Barn? Covered Bridge, also very New Englandy. Survivors will be shot again. All right. What's he running in here? A still? Hmm. Is this a valve handle? No, it's a steering wheel. I guess I shouldn't confuse this for Resident Evil. I'm pretty sure there are valve handles in other Silent Hill games. Hmm. Gonna check this door back here. I feel like one of these rooms or these little nooks should at least have some kind of reward in there for me to make me kind of feel cool about exploring. Pardon me. But I guess probably piecemeal doses of ammunition are some of the better things to do there, so you just don't like load up the player on health drinks. And I don't have the gun yet, so they can't do that yet. Curtis is having none of it. I'm pretty sure Curtis knows that Alex is kind of playing Army here. Yeah, I don't know if you missed it. It was kind of a small moment. Um, it's after his mom drags herself with a slime trail from the basement, and she's sitting in a chair and she's kind of muttering absently about um, Joshua being gone. And then Alex sees this sitting in her lap. It's kind of concerned that she's going to be a threat to herself with it, so he takes it. Says the man who is petting the barrel of a gun. I'm pretty sure Curtis knows more than he's letting on. I'm not spoiling any details here, but he's not 100% showing all of his cards. Oh, hey, cool. That's how I do that. Oh, hey, cool. That's how I quick change items. Hmm. Mauios. Sucrus. I know I can't have the shotgun. Oh, nifty. I did not know you could do a gun butt. Or a crack with it. Oh, that's the flyer. Alex is bold. I sure wouldn't be taking freebies from Curtis's shop like that. Did I get everything out of here? Oh, I think I can. Can I go back this way? No. And it doesn't mark on the map that it's blocked. Gotcha. It's been a while since I've been attacked. I kind of feel like I'm gonna be soon. Alright. Forward and to the left. Oh god, there they are! Yep, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go! Cool. An instance where I do wish there was a sprint instead of a jaunt. Yep, exactly. It's interesting that he uses a dog sound effects to let you know you're in trouble when this is in fact not a dog. Okay. That do it? Oh god. I think it's. Is that it? Was it that it's death gasp? Cool. All right. So what am I about here? Fine. Mayor Bartlett digging graves in the cemetery. Okay. Oh wait, what's this on the back? Here. No. The monster that it's just a recurring monster design. Um, Started with Silent Hill 2. Um, Beware of he who took them. He goes by many names. The bogeyman or shadowed one, but all are he the same. I wonder if Alex is just making up those rhymes as he reads the pictures. But yeah, no, the fog in Silent Hill is just the fog in Silent Hill. It is its own phenomenon. Though this is Shepherd's Glen, same rules stand. I wonder if there's a sign up for the. Well, no wonder they went out of business. There's no sign out front. So far, combat isn't that isn't terribly challenging. I seem to remember it being more satisfying on hard mode. Okay. So Bartlett Mausoleum is over this way. The guardian that once was whole reveals the way that is shut. Two halves of... Oh, that's the puzzle. That's the hint to the puzzle that I just solved. Alright. I'm auto-locking on something. Oh, it's that fella. Trying to hit what appear to be vitals. Cool. Yeah, I should wait for it to do that. Can I kill it? More? Is it still moving? Okay. Cool. Ever hand drawn a Mario? Well, having done it myself, I can't recommend it for the thrill, but I guess it's an experience that I wouldn't deny anyone, for sure. Okay. Yep, we're taking a left here. What circumstances would you need to hand draw a map in? Yeah. Okay, no, there was no... That was a dead end. Okay. Pretty sure I need to backtrack here. This is kind of a confusing area to move through. So... Yeah, straight, left. Yep. Ah, Jesus. Okay. See if this moment of shooting it in the vitals is as effective as I think it will be. Oh, come on. That is garbage. Totally hit that. I scowl let you hit detection. Things that might have gone off the rails. You're right. I think you're very right about that. Okay, just... Yeah. Alex Shepard is home free. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. I need to create room for this thing to move. So... At least I'm guessing this is how it's done. Yeah, there we go. I would have that same level of hesitant, worried, uh, I would have my guard up like that too. The Witness? Do you mean the Jonathan Blow game? Oh, Alex is having a Silent Hill moment. No, I have not. I remember playing Braid, and I remember it being something of an event. Um, so, I believe I should play it soon, but I haven't played it lately. I mean, I obviously haven't played it lately. I haven't played it. Oh boy. Shepherd's Glen's sister city. Of course, the elusive child ran into Silent Hill. Where else do they go? Oh God. Nope. Come on, buddy. Bait him into doing his thing so I can hit him in the vitals. There we go. nifty. Yes, new areas unlocked. Come on, Josh. I'm tired of this Newt Ripley nonsense. Curious. I think I am ready to find a save point here. Room late, evening, exterior doors left open, Mr. Jones. Has working in game dev changed the way that I look at games in any way? Oh, absolutely. There are things that I think I would have been. Basically, I'm much less judgmental. Um, I think probably the biggest difference is I am more discerning and less judgmental. Because making any kind of game whatsoever is a very, very hard thing. And I have a great deal of respect for any game that actually gets shipped. That said, I also have a greater awareness of... Cool, maintenance key. I also have a greater awareness of like why certain decisions might have been made, why certain design choices exist, and damn it. Buddy, I just want to save my game. Ah, great. No! Dude, hit him! Cool. And yeah, so I think it's made me, it has made me a better, kinder, smarter person. Which is pretty good, I think. Yeah, it was too. I was expecting that to be like maybe like an insta-kill if I got too close to it. I think I remember electricity is out. I need to find a switchboard. My memory is telling me there was a puzzle that I remember not being very good at. All right. Ah, I'm being attacked by something right now? I am, in fact, being attacked by something right now. Oh, get up, my friend. cool. Well, I've got a lot of healing items. Wow, a single health drink really does cover a lot of grounds there. Oh, right, you gotta do this thing. Um, you know, if somebody were to look this up and tell me the solution, I would not say no. So, okay, so these two are correct. It's one of these puzzles where you have to. It tells you how many are in the correct place, and then you have to. No, wait, those are correct. Oh, never mind. There we go. And you have to switch them around to figure out which ones need to be shuffled around. So, anyway, I completed that a lot faster than I did on my like actual playthrough, like solo playthrough. Yeah, that's what it turns into for me. I'm not particularly whether I'm good at logic puzzles or not. I don't really have a lot of patience for them, so they 9 times out of 10 turn into brute force trial and error um, adventures. Gotcha. Ah, God, this is straight up nightmare fodder. Ah, like insects and elevators. Oh boy. Narrative things. I mean, it really varies from project to project. I cannot. I really can't speculate how a lot of that stuff winds up. How a lot of things that seem questionable get in there. Development processes are just so haphazard much of the time that sometimes I wind up being amazed that a coherent story comes out of it at all. But oh, I need to. So, but one thing that it has given me is an appreciation for. Uh, oh, there we go. An appreciation for how challenging it is to tell a coherent story through as many iterations as any game goes through. And yeah, Mode 7, I definitely see necromorphs in those. So again, yeah, it's the sort of thing where it makes me a little more forgiving and lets me, I don't know, you don't want something to, you don't want to, if work could be better, you want to create an image in your head about what that could look like. But at the same time, if something seems to be lacking something, knowing how difficult it is to make something gives you a sort of a greater tolerance or a greater sense of grace about letting it exist in its flawed state. And who knows? I mean, it might not be flawed. You might just not get it. That's also something you kind of have to keep in mind. Um, so, which is true of any kind of medium, I think. But this brings us to about 10:34 my time, and I am ready to sign off, grab some dinner, and head toward bed here. But before I go, just one more time, as we said at the top of the stream, midpoint, um, I wanted to plug Poorly Timed Games' donation matching campaign for the Black Lives Matter protesters. If you go to Deltahead Media, you'll see a retweet. That's the stream's Twitter account. You'll see a retweet of their donation matching campaign. The link and the source that they're using is legit. It's vetted by their social media manager, Cole, who's great. And yeah, if you want to help, that's a great way to do it. So thanks everyone for coming out, and Roundlay, Mode 7, and oh, there was somebody new. There was somebody new. The speedrunner. Oh, I'm scrolling back up in the chat. Nally, if you're still there, thank you for coming out. So, and everybody else, have a great night. Night, Peacher.